Welcome back, everybody. Back in the kitchen with Christine, the happy cookie lady, and we are making homemade fudge. And fudge is one of those things that I think is so fun to make during the holidays. Unlike the caramels, it's easy. You know what I mean? It's not. Some of those Christmas candies are putzy.
Yeah, I don't like the boiled, to the hard boiled stage.
Right, without the thermometer and all that kind of stuff. I mean, it's wonderful. Don't get me wrong, but it's just a lot of work and a lot of time. But my dad would be all about this fudge because he loves, you know, white chocolate divinity, all that kind of stuff. So it makes a great gift, I think, too, homemade fudge.
And you know, it's something different because it's the white chocolate and there's cranberries in there. It has the orange flavor from the orange rind. It has walnuts.
So it's special, really special.
Something different.
So the first thing we're starting to do is we are melting, is this one bag?
One 12-ounce
One 12-ounce bag of white chocolate chips. And we're being very careful melting this, and there's a reason for that. If you've melted chocolate before and you might have gotten burned, I guess, is what can happen. Especially if you do it in the microwave, you really have to do it on low heat and check all the time, and it can go wrong.
And it's expensive, so if you mess it up,
yes,
you know,
exactly.
you messed it up. I know we have a different cooktop in our kitchen now, and I burnt the first batch because even on low it was too high, so I'm doing it in a double boiler.
And that is the way I recommend it. You know, during the holidays, there's a lot going on. The doorbell rings, the postman, FedEx man shows up, you're checking your email, you know, there's a lot of distractions. So this is a great way to make sure everything melts perfectly. What it is, it's a method where we've got boiling water underneath. We put our chocolate chips in another pan. If you don't have another pan, you can also use like a heat-proof bowl, like one of these Pyrex bowls, and just drop that into the pan, a pan that will fit. And like that, I would want probably a little bit bigger of a bowl or a little less water, but you get the idea. You might want to make sure it's heat-proof, so you can create your own double boiler if you don't have one. So we're going to kind of let this hang out a little bit. It's going to take a few minutes. You want that to be nice and smooth, but this is the ultimate safe way to melt any type of chocolate this holiday season. Okay.
Okay. We've got a half cup of, and I use a specific brand, the Pillsbury Creamy Supreme Frosting.
Okay, so don't get the generic stuff, you're saying.
Don't get the generic stuff. I don't know if it'll work well, and these are too expensive of ingredients to
worry about 20 cents more. Yeah, okay. So this is a half a cup of really nice canned white frosting.
And you can, what's good is if you're making this recipe and the angel recipe that I'm doing later, you can use the rest of the frosting to decorate your angels later.
We're making really cute angel cookies later. So powdered sugar.
Half cup of powdered sugar. And then we have 3-ounce block of cream cheese.
Okay.
And we're going to mix that together real good. I probably have the wrong tool for this, but I'm going to get that mixed up real good.
I have a pastry blender. Would that work a little bit better, you think?
I'll tackle it with the spoon, Amy. That should be good. I have a feeling that might get between the tines of it. And
okay, so far powdered sugar, cream cheese, which, ooh, I'm excited about this fudge. I like the idea of cream cheese in there, and then a half of a cup of white frosting. Our white chocolate chips are starting to melt. And then some of the other flavors that we talked about in here, orange zest. So you just took an orange and used a microplane and zested it up?
Yeah, and make sure if you're doing that, you either wash the orange really, really well or get the organic, because you're using that peel.
That is a good tip.
And you can even leave the orange out if you happen to find the orange flavored dried cranberries.
Oh, good idea.
They make some different flavored ones now, and you can use the orange flavored one, and then you don't have to monkey with the orange, but unfortunately that's not the kind I had at the house, so I got the orange peel here.
Well, that smells delicious anyway.
It's, I believe, 2/3 cup of the dried cranberries.
Okay.
And 3/4 of a cup of walnuts.
Now, my question is, if you don't do nuts, you could leave the walnuts out, correct?
You could. You're not going to have as much body with this.
Okay.
You know, I mean, basically the flavors are the walnuts and the...
Sure.
I guess I'd say make a different recipe.
Okay.
And then we're going to add that in here.
Okay.
That's melted really good. Nice. Yeah, just make sure we don't get any of the water from that one.
Okay. You have to be careful about that when you're doing the whole double boiler thing is, the water, you don't want to get it in there. Do you need some help?
Yeah.
Okay, if you do that.
I'll hold it, you scoop it, how's that?
Okay.
Sometimes it's good to have 3 hands.
This melted beautifully, by the way.
Yeah, you just want to make sure that it's smooth.
It smells so good. I'm a huge fan of white chocolate, so of any chocolate.
I was going to say, I like
Any
chocolate any
chocolate.
way I can get it.
But I really like white chocolate, and I think during the holidays it's kind of special. Next week I'm doing Friday, I'm doing a white chocolate mousse with fresh berries.
That would be
An elegant
wonderful.
holiday dessert that sounds like,
Something nice and light, too,
Yeah.
it sounds like.
well, I'm not sure.
Light texture.
Light texture, right, but something that's sounds fancy, like you'd order it at a fancy restaurant in Chicago, but you can make it at home. So, but I'm all about white chocolate.
Now what we did was we lined a foil pan. You can either use an 8-inch or a 9-inch. This is an 8-inch, so it's going to give you a little bit thicker
Okay.
piece of fudge.
Okay.
I used the 9-inch pan because that's what I had at home, and these are a little bit thinner,
Okay.
as you can see. So,
Okay.
And then all you're going to do,
And do notice that you've got the foil hanging over the
I
edge.
do, because that's going to aid you in getting this out of here,
Yep.
because you'll be able to lift it right out. It's going to set up for maybe an hour in your refrigerator, and then afterwards you're going to bring it out and slice it up, and it's best served at room temperature if you can wait that long.
And here we have it all. There's the done batch,
Yeah,
if you
because
can
this
see
way,
that.
this way you can just lift it out. I do
Yep.
have a strip missing that I use on the plate.
And
but-
then real easy, and then cut it into squares. Oh, I can hardly wait to try some of that. Christine's going to stick around, and you are making the cutest ever angel cookies coming up.